challenges and obstacles. Let's take a deeper dive into these two terms, as they're very important for deepening your understanding of mindfulness and mindfulness practices, for informing our conversations and discussions, and will serve you well as you're working on your papers. So what are challenges and what are obstacles as we're using them in our class? Because you could say, without knowing more, well, they seem to be sort of synonyms. You could use them interchangeably, and you can. All the more reason to be very clear so that when one of us says the term challenge or obstacle in class, we all know what that person is referring to. So, challenges, I'll first give examples, and then I'll give you a litmus test for challenges and for obstacles to help deepen both your understanding of what makes a challenge and what makes an obstacle, and also why it might be useful to consider these as we are. By and large, challenges are what's the things, the situations, the events taking place in the world around us, in the external environment. An example might be if we're in class and outside a truck starts backing up and makes a very loud beeping sound, or somebody is doing cleaning the yard and they start with a leaf blower that's very, very loud. We could say that either of these are challenges. Where are they taking place? In the world around us, in the external environment. Where is the sound emerging from? External environment, world around us. What is the source of it? The truck, the leaf blower, external environment, world around us. However you parse it, it sort of falls into that neat category of something taking place in the external world, something taking place around us. A challenge. What is a litmus test for a challenge? Well, a litmus test for a challenge is that most people will regard it and see it similarly. So if we were all in class and there was a truck backing up with a loud beeping sound, and we were to say, "Hey, raise your hand if you consider that to probably be a truck backing up, making a loud beeping sound," most of our hands would go up. And even more, if we were to say, write down on a piece of paper what that is. Many of us would write very, similarly. Sounds like a vehicle backing up and there's a loud sound. So that's a challenge. Happening in the world around us, a litmus test, most people would, it's objective, it's seen very similarly. Okay. Obstacles. Whereas challenges are taking place in the world around us, and by the way, that's as a general rule. If we get a really nuanced understanding of, refined understanding of mindfulness, there's more to it than that. But that's a good way for us to be construing it and understanding it and talking about it for the weeks to come. Whereas challenges are largely taking place out there, obstacles are arising in here. In here, meaning in the mind. What does that consist of? Well, we've been spending weeks now spending a lot of attention in our mindfulness practices and in what we're writing about and talking about, thoughts, feelings, and sensations. So at a very low level, our internal experience and much of our decision-making and much of the way the experiences that we have in life influence us are a product of the thoughts, feelings, and sensations that emerge moment by moment. Now, those are what makes up narratives and beliefs and preconceptions and judgments and assumptions and perspectives and biases, and whether they're useful or not useful, helpful, not helpful, pleasant, not pleasant. They're made up of thoughts, feelings, and sensations, and we will call those obstacles. Now, importantly, just as a side note, somebody could say, here's a big project to work on. You could go, ooh, a challenge, I like that. Or somebody can say, here's a big project to work on, and be like, oh my God, it's so challenging. Similarly, you could have, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is such an obstacle. And also there's obstacle courses and things we run through to, develop our skills and capacities. So the terms challenges and obstacles do tend to have this, suggest something that's difficult and something that's getting in the way. And that's because most of the times we talk about snow globe shaking and spiral spinning, it will be because we're interested in being more at ease and more effective in the midst of difficult moments. But technically, the terms challenges and the terms obstacles are not referring to negative things, though that is the way we'll oftentimes draw upon them. So, what's a litmus test for an obstacle? Well, if we're all in the class and a truck is backing up and beeping, or a leaf blower starts to make a loud sound in the middle of our discussion, we might have many different perspectives on that. Some of us might get frustrated, some might get annoyed, some might not even notice, some might recognize that somebody's just doing their job. Somebody might say, it'll come and it'll go. Somebody will maybe lean forward and listen a little bit more deeply. Somebody might feel like, what's the point? So a lot of different thoughts about it, a lot of different feelings about it, a lot of different sensations, tension, tightness, whatever it might be in the body as a result of it. These are the obstacles. And the litmus test is that many people will have very different or distinct relationships to that experience. Okay, so that is challenges, that is obstacles. It's a definition. The challenge is external, the obstacle is internal, and the litmus test is that challenges by and large are objective, and many people will read them very similarly, whereas obstacles are a more subjective experience. And if we want to apply this, just for a moment to our mindful living flow diagram, we could say that life happening would be challenges, and the resistance would be where we see obstacles. So what's happening and how we are internally resisting, or the level of resistance to what's taking place. So as a takeaway to this, closing thought or two, we could say with this understanding that mindfulness helps us with obstacles, but not with challenges. Meaning, you can practice mindfulness every day for hours, and or by whatever means cultivate a greater heightened level of mindful awareness, and still trucks will be backing up and beeping, and still leaf blowers will be making loud noises when maybe least expected or least desirable. So the practicing of mindfulness and being more mindfully aware isn't going to do much directly to stop or eliminate challenges. Life will continue to happen, but mindfulness can be very helpful in our work with the obstacles. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you on this first piece to the challenges and obstacles discussion. I think that's it. In a little bit, I'll do another video that sort of advances it to the next level. All right, wishing you well.